Christina Howard in front of George Brown College. It's one of 24 colleges that are subject to a 3-week-long teacher strike. That's 300,000 students who are in their classrooms while their teachers and instructors are out on the street. Now, the biggest issue is job security. Faculty are asking for a 50-50 split when it comes to full-time versus part-time instructors. Colleges say that's a costly move that could cost upwards of $250 million once totally implemented. But documents obtained by City News show that last year alone, colleges had a surplus of $188 million. That's nearly enough to meet the union's demands.
Teachers united will never be divided.
If they claim it's $250 million, that's $250 million they're underpaying people currently for the work that they do. The second piece of that is they have a $188 million surplus from this year alone. You look at what the presidents have done back in December with their executive compensation packages. They were looking at salaries for themselves of 20 to 50% increases. Now, we're talking about people that often make over $300,000 a year. So that's a significant chunk of change. When you look at the council, we don't even know what their salaries are pegged at, but we know they have enough to hire a reputation management consultant firm for the course of the bargaining round. We don't think these are good, ways to spend taxpayer money or good investments in post-secondary education. We think the money should be spent in the frontline services to support the students.
The union estimates that every week faculty is off the job, colleges are saving between $15 and $20 million in salaries, money that they can then put in reserves or use in future capital projects. Now, we reached out to the Council of Colleges, that's the group that represents college administration and management in the talks, and they weren't able to meet our 6 p.m. deadline. But we know that the two sides are quite far away from reaching a deal. Bargaining team members who live outside of Toronto have returned home and aren't anticipating being back at the table over the next few days. The faculty acknowledge that students may not be getting the education they paid for.
We're in some really dangerous territory now in terms of students being able to recoup their semester in a way that's meaningful and actually meet 100% of the learning outcomes. We're hearing rumors that some of the managers have been telling students, don't worry about it, we have a plan, but none of the faculty have been consulted on this plan. We have no idea how the managers expect us to cram all of the learning outcomes into a condensed semester, and students paid 100% tuition. They should have 100% of their learning outcomes met.
Now, so far the government says they aren't planning on forcing instructors back to the blackboard, but they do stress they want to see both sides at the negotiating table, and soon rather than later. For more on this story, you can head to citynews.ca.